It often starts subtly. Maybe you find yourself feeling more tired than usual. You're less enthusiastic about intimacy, more distracted, more disconnected. You brush it off, blame it on stress, work, or lack of sleep. And for a while, that explanation feels good enough. But deep down, something doesn't feel right. There's a shift, not only in your body, but in how you feel as a man. What used to come naturally now feels like an effort. Desire fades, performance wavers, and your confidence, so closely tied to how you feel in your own skin, begins to erode. Most men are never taught to recognize the early signs of declining sexual health. In fact, we're often taught to ignore them, to man up, to believe that these changes are normal, or worse, inevitable. But the truth is, your body doesn't just suddenly fail you, it whispers before it screams. The problem is, few are listening. Sexual health isn't only about what happens in the bedroom. It is a reflection of your overall health, your hormones, your habits, your mindset, your lifestyle. It's a mirror that shows you what's really going on inside. And when something feels off in that area, it usually means something much deeper is at play. Declining sexual function can be one of the first red flags your body gives you that something is wrong. It might be hormonal, emotional, psychological, or physical, but it should never be ignored. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to reverse. And that's what too many men don't realize. They wait. They hope it's just temporary. They think it'll get better on its own, but it rarely does. That's because male sexual health is intricately tied to everything else. Your diet, your stress levels, your mental health, your sleep quality, even your sense of purpose. When you start losing strength in this one area, it's often a sign that the foundations of your health are starting to crack. And that's not something to take lightly. You might start by noticing that your morning energy isn't what it used to be. Morning erections, an important sign of healthy testosterone levels and blood flow, begin to fade. You don't wake up feeling charged, ready, alive. Instead, you wake up groggy, dull, unmotivated. Your workouts feel harder. Your mood feels heavier. You may not even feel like yourself anymore. You start pulling back in subtle ways. Less interest in physical affection, less desire to initiate, less confidence in your ability to perform. You might still go through the motions, but the spark feels different, dimmed. And because no one talks about it openly, you convince yourself this is normal. That maybe is just what happens with age. But the truth is, it's not just about getting older. It is about what you've accepted as normal when your body has been asking for help. These signs, low libido, reduced stamina, weaker erections, longer recovery time, and emotional detachment aren't separate issues. They're connected, and they're trying to tell you something. Your body is trying to adapt to chronic stress, poor lifestyle habits, emotional suppression, or declining hormones. It's not failing you. It is fighting for balance the only way it knows how, by pulling back energy from systems it sees as non-essential for survival. And yes, unfortunately, reproduction is one of them. When you live in a constant state of stress, physically or emotionally, your body prioritizes survival. It produces more cortisol, which suppresses testosterone. It diverts blood flow away from reproductive organs. It interrupts sleep, slows down recovery, and makes fat storage easier. It changes everything, from how you think and feel to how you move and perform. And one of the earliest casualties is sexual vitality. But it's not just stress. Poor nutrition also plays a major role. Diets high in processed foods, sugars, alcohol, and inflammatory oils rob your body of the building blocks it needs to produce sex hormones and maintain vascular health. Your arteries stiffen, your insulin levels spike, your energy crashes, and over time, your ability to respond sexually begins to erode. And yet, the world rarely warns you about this. You'll hear about cholesterol, about weight gain, about fatigue, but rarely about how those same issues are showing up in your sexual health, because it's still taboo, still seen as weakness, but ignoring it doesn't make it go away. In fact, the longer it's ignored, the more serious the consequences become, not just for your performance, but for your entire well-being. Another warning sign that often slips under the radar is emotional flatness. You may not even connect it to your sexual health at first, but it's deeply intertwined. When testosterone levels begin to drop, so does your emotional vitality. You start feeling less drive, less motivation, and less joy in things that used to excite you. It's not just physical, it's psychological. You're not just tired, you're disconnected. Your sense of identity begins to shift. You feel like a duller version of yourself. This is where relationships start to suffer. not because of some dramatic event, but because of a slow erosion of connection. When you don't feel strong, confident, or present in your own body, it becomes harder to be present with someone else. You pull away. You stop initiating. You avoid vulnerability, conversations, even affection. And before you know it, distance grows. Not just between you and your partner, but between you and the version of yourself you used to know. Sometimes it's easier to blame it on work or pressure or just not being in the mood. But deep down, you know something has changed, and pretending it hasn't won't solve anything. You owe it to yourself and to those who care about you to be honest about what is really happening, because the sooner you acknowledge the signs, the sooner you can begin to reverse them. What many men don't realize is the sexual decline doesn't have to be permanent. It's not some one-way path you're doomed to follow. In fact, your body has an incredible ability to heal and restore balance when given the right support. But it requires awareness, it requires effort, and most of all, it requires you to care enough about yourself to take action before things get worse. This isn't just about sex. It's about reclaiming your vitality, your energy, your strength, your clarity, your confidence. It's about waking up in the morning feeling alive instead of drained. It's about moving through life with purpose instead of fatigue. And it starts with listening, really listening, to the signals your body has been giving you all along. Too often men wait until the signals become too loud to ignore, until their relationship is on the brink, until they're too exhausted to function, until their confidence is gone completely. But what if you didn't have to wait for things to fall apart before you took action? What if you could catch the signs early and start turning things around before you reach that breaking point? The truth is, the earlier you intervene, the easier it is to restore balance. And no, it doesn't always mean medications or extreme measures. In many cases, it starts with the fundamentals: sleep, movement, nutrition, stress management, and connection. These aren't just lifestyle buzzwords. They're the backbone of your hormonal and sexual health. You can't run on 4 hours of sleep, skip real meals, stay glued to a screen all day, and expect to feel like the man you once were. Start with sleep. Testosterone production is most active during deep rest. If you're chronically sleep deprived, you're sabotaging your own chemistry. Prioritize getting consistent, high-quality sleep, and you'll begin to notice shifts, not just in energy, but in desire and performance too. Then look at movement. Regular exercise, especially strength training, naturally boosts testosterone, improves blood flow, and increases confidence. Not because you need to look a certain way, but because the act of showing up for yourself physically translates into how you feel emotionally and sexually. Movement isn't just about muscles. It's about momentum. It reminds your body how to feel strong, how to circulate energy, how to wake back up. And of course, what you eat plays a role too. A diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods, especially healthy fats, lean proteins, and micronutrients gives your body the raw materials it needs to make hormones and maintain circulation. Cut back on sugars and ultra-processed snacks, and you reduce inflammation, stabilize your energy, and support healthy libido. But beyond sleep, exercise, and nutrition, there's one more element most men overlook, and it may be the most important: emotional connection. Not just with a partner, but with yourself. Your emotional health is inseparable from your sexual health. Suppressed emotions, unresolved stress, and mental exhaustion all take a toll. If you're carrying anger, shame, sadness, or anxiety beneath the surface, your body knows. It reacts. It shuts down. It protects itself by numbing the very impulses that make you feel alive. So it's not weakness to feel off. It's human. The key is being honest about it. When you acknowledge that something has shifted, you reclaim the power to do something about it. You can begin having real conversations. You can begin seeking guidance. You can take a step, not a giant leap, just one honest step toward feeling like yourself again. Because what's at stake isn't just your ability to perform, it's your ability to connect, to love, to feel joy, to express strength and softness in equal measure. That's what true vitality looks like. Not a flawless physique, not perfection, but presence. When you're present in your body, in your emotions, in your relationships, everything changes. Your desire returns, your confidence builds, your sense of purpose reignites. Declining sexual health isn't a curse, it's a signal. One that your life, your body, and your heart are asking for more from you. More care, more balance, more truth. And the sooner you listen, the sooner you heal. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are simply being called back to yourself. And when you answer that call, you don't just recover your sexual health, you rediscover your life.